So today we're going to be talking about liberation of oneself from ancestral causes. We all know what ancestral causes are. And by ancestral causes, we mean the sins of our forefathers, the sins they committed, which both God and man has refused to forgive and forget. Okay, and it runs from generation to generation, causing so many problems for the present generation. And this sin that we're talking about is nothing less than shedding of human blood. It is always shedding of human blood that can lead to ancestral causes, because one, the ancestors refused to maybe ask for forgiveness when that sin was committed. They didn't ask for forgiveness. They didn't show any remorse, nothing of sort. And so when they pass away, because they didn't ask for forgiveness, that curse that was placed on them will now be transferred to their generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. It runs from one generation to another until there is a generation that will rise up and decide to put a stop to that curse. My name is Oge and you are highly welcome to this channel. This is the Spiritual Solution. I would like you to pay attention to what I have for us today, because I know that some of us will benefit a lot. The reason why I decided to make this video is because I've been hearing a lot about breaking of ancestral curses. It is not as easy as you think it is. It is not as easy as people make it sound. A lot of people have been going about with so many teachings, which is right, partially, but not fully as it is that, the way that it's supposed to be. When you want to liberate yourself from ancestral curse, this is not something you can do by yourself. You cannot do it. I want to tell you the truth. It is not something you can do by yourself. People will always tell you to use alligator pepper, chew it, spit it out, rub it on your body. All those things are true, yes, but they're telling you what to do towards the ending part of that liberation exercise. It is after the major part of the work that has been done, that is when you will use alligator pepper. And that major part of the work is not something that you yourself can do. This is something, there are people who are notable for this. There are people who are expert in doing this. They themselves will also tell you that it is not an easy task. And liberation of oneself from ancestral causes is not something that can be done in a day. Sometimes it takes up to 3 days, okay, depending on how severe that cause is towards that family. So I want to let you know that if you think that it is easy, it is not easy. Because liberation of this oneself that we're talking about here is liberating you from the hands of those spirits that has been holding you down. These are spirits holding you down, not human. And the reason why they are holding you down and it has lasted for years is because they are crying out for justice. And there is one thing that I've come to notice. This God that we worship, that God that created the heaven and earth, is a God of justice. As long as those blood are still crying unto him, asking for justice, there is no amount of prayer that you will say that will liberate yourself, except when you do the needful. Now, there is something else I want to let you know. In this liberation of oneself from ancestral causes, it is not something that you can do wherever you are. When we talk about our ancestors, we talk about people who lived before us way back. And these people lived in the village because that was where our generation started. They lived in the village, and that crime they committed was in the village. So for you to liberate yourself, number one, you will start from now to make effort on how to go back to the village. And then for you to liberate yourself, like I said earlier, it is not something that you can do. I want to let you know, if anybody is telling you to get alligator pepper, get bitter cola, get this, get that, do this, do that, don't listen to that person. Do not, number one, when you are done with all those things, it won't even work. Do you know why? Because you are not called for that. You don't have that power to do that. There is someone who has that power, who can perform, and the spirits will listen to that person. Someone who has been doing it. It is not something anybody can just wake up one day and decide to liberate himself or herself from ancestral causes. If it's that easy, there won't be family hindrances. There won't be problems anywhere. When you notice that you are being held down by ancestral causes, you just go and pay attention to one of all these teachings, get this, get that, do it by yourself, and then you liberate yourself. It's not as easy as you think it is. That is what I want to let you know. The issue of using alligator pepper is towards the ending. By the time you are done with all those things, alligator pepper is what you will now use to cleanse yourself of all those exercises. Because if you don't do that, you are going to see the backside of that liberation program. You are going to see the worst of it. Sometimes people fall sick, severely sick. Okay? Sometimes if care is not taken, someone will die. So I want to let us know, the much I can tell us about liberation of oneself from ancestral causes. As long as it's a human blood that was shed in those days, you need to first of all find someone that can help you out. And let me tell you, if we can tell ourselves the truth, it is sometimes difficult to do it through the Christian way. Yes, because what was done through the traditional way. And so when you want to liberate yourself, it must be through that traditional way. For you to do it through the Christian way and it works for you, it is not something that you and your family will go home and start praying and clapping your hands. No. You must find that powerful man of God or woman of God who will speak and the spirits will listen, who will pray and the heaven will open and your prayers will be granted. Do you know the reason why I decided to make this video? Because I have seen a lot of videos and I know what it means for someone to embark on deliverance from ancestral causes. Let me use my family as an example, the family where I was born into. There were times when we were passing through that thing, one particular problem, from one problem to another. And then we got to notice that it is ancestral causes. And how did we get to know that? Of course, my guardian angel came to the dream. And he played everything to me. It was just like a cinema. And I saw my village way back before my parents were born, before my father was born. Then there was nothing like civilization. What I saw was mud houses and thatch roofs. There was no tarred road. It was all grasses and farms here and there. And then he told me a story of how a teenager was killed, was used as a sacrifice by those our forefathers there. And then till present date, that blood kept on crying unto God, seeking for vengeance. And so that thing kept on from that generation past up to the present generation. And then what he told me was that we should try to please the soul of the dead. That we should try to calm the soul of the dead, that is the only solution. So he told me that, and I told my family about that, and everybody they didn't believe me. And I myself, equally, I can't really tell who I was then, so I just brushed everything aside. But as years goes by, things started getting worse and worse and worse. And then one day, I saw my grandfather. He came to me and he performed everything the traditional way. He performed everything. He showed me all that will be done and how it will be done. And after that we are going to be liberated. So I decided to share the same information with my family, and this time around everybody bought the idea because it has lingered for years and nothing has been done despite all our efforts to bring in so many powerful men of God and women of God. We have called all kinds of people, ranging from Catholic priests, Pentecostal priests, prayer warriors, name it. Even we ourselves, we even turned prayer warriors also. We kept on year in, year out. We are calling people. But after that prayer, it looks as if everything is now getting worse than before. And so when my grandfather showed me all these things, and I told my siblings about it, we decided to make arrangements on how to go to the village and perform that. And then we contacted, because what he showed me was something that a native doctor will do. But then we don't know of any native doctor. So we decided to ask questions, and someone directed us to a native doctor. And we didn't tell the native doctor what the problem was, okay? We allowed him to tell us what that problem is so that we will know if he's telling us the truth. And the native doctor narrated exactly what was shown to me. And so we fixed a date for him to come home for that family deliverance. And when he started performing, lo and behold, I saw everything that my grandfather told me. He started carrying them out, one after the other, according to how my grandfather told me. Because I remember asking that question, if I can do that, and the answer was no. So when the man carried out everything, I wasn't surprised. And then I will tell you the outcome of the whole thing. That is why I decided to make this video, for those people who think that you can do it by yourself. Because after that deliverance program, the following day, something happened in my father's house. Something happened. I nearly died. I don't know if it's because I was the one that initiated that deliverance program. I nearly died out of stomach ache, which lasted for hours. And you know, in the village during festive period, no hospital was open, no pharmacy shop was open. So I kept on calling on God not to allow me to die, because what I did was trying to save lives and save souls. And it looks as if God heard that prayer. It just looked as if a cold water was poured on my stomach. Everything just cooled down immediately. After like about 4 hours, the moment I felt that coldness on my stomach, everything cooled down, and that was the end. And what happened? After that program, a young girl, a teenager, carrying, should I say, bags of rags or whatever, just surfaced in our family house, came to my elder brother, that she was sent. She mentioned the name of a deity, that she is the daughter of that deity, that she has come to see my brother. So out of anger, my brother chased her out of our compound. And the girl refused to leave. What did she say? She told us that she has been living in our house for decades. And all of a sudden, we just woke up and decided to chase her away. That she will not go out, that she will live in that house, that is her house. And we told her that it was her house before, but it's no longer her house now. So she tried everything possible to come inside that house, but she was chased away. And she left. And the moment she left, people went to, because everybody in the village said that they haven't seen her before. They don't know her. Nobody knew her. Nobody saw her. So the moment she left our house, one of us decided to go after her, to know where she's going to. But she vanished. Nobody saw her. Nobody saw her. And that was when I told them that the deliverance program really worked. And it was so. It was so. So the reason why I am making this video is to let you all know that delivering yourself from ancestral curses is not all about taking bitter cola, taking alligator pepper, taking palm oil. No. It is not all about that. This time around, do you know what it means to fight with spirits? I want people to open their spiritual eyes. I want you to, if there is anything like spiritual ear and spiritual heart, I want you to open it. Do you know what it means to fight with spirits? It is not an easy task. For you to fight the spirits and win them, you must be too powerful. And let me tell you, embarking on family liberation from ancestral curses, it always entails two things. Yes, one, it's either that the spirits will want to take a life, okay, to kind of appeasement for the sins that the forefathers, committed. They will want to take a life. So for them not to take that life, you people performing that thing will have to be spiritually strong. You have to be spiritually strong. You have to unite with one heart. If there is any doubting Thomas amongst you, it is better that that doubting Thomas is not around during that program, because the spirit of that person will scatter everything that you people are doing. So please, whenever you are trying to embark on liberating yourself from ancestral curses, I want you to go through the right channel. If you want to do it through the church way, please make sure that you contact all those powerful men of God, okay, so that they will perform it for you. And if you want to go through the the traditional way, make sure you contact that powerful native doctor. Because those people, even before they come, they will have to fortify themselves. Because if care is not taken, spirits will go after them. So for them not to, endanger themselves, they will fortify themselves. And they will equally ask you people coming back for that program, they will tell you what to do so that you fortify yourself spiritually and physically. So please, be very careful when you are embarking on anything that has to do with spiritual works. Be very careful in taking teachings from people on what you can do. Whenever that thing has to do with spirits, I want you to be very careful. If only you know how spirits works. We don't, well, I mean, we have violent spirits, and we have the good ones also. So when you are dealing with those violent ones, that is when we are talking about liberating yourself from ancestral curses. It is dealing with those violent spirits, and you know what it means. They can harm you. So you have to be very careful. Go through the right channel, all right? Go through the right channel. In as much as I know what to do, but it has already been told that I can't do it. I am not the one to do it. So I've decided to stay away from that. Okay? I know what you can get and how you can do it, but I will not tell anybody what it is. It is better for you to go through the right channel and solve your problems spiritually once and for all. Okay, you are highly welcome once again. So I'm going to leave us here, and until next time, when I get something beautiful from my guardian angel, I will teach us all about that. Okay, have a nice day and God bless.